these two rebuilding Dolton party nominees or candidates at a steppers party of some sort. I'm gonna like go over the information and show why I'm pulling up this video. But in the meantime, I want to start this off by letting you guys see this video here because to me this says a whole lot about the fact that she just doesn't know what she's doing. And I said I was not going to mention or give energy to her, but it's not necessarily about her, Cornmeal, directly. It's this whole Rebuilding Dalton party and what they stand for, and the lack of any financial reportings or anything that they're required by law to report. I haven't seen it. And so for someone to be preaching accountability and transparency, she, for one, has not posted any contribution to this so-called campaign that she's running, nor does she even have any statements or documents uploaded on the website where it's supposed to be posted for the public to view. So let's get to this video. This is some line stepping dance thing, and she just shows up. It's my understanding, but just want you all to hear some of the dialogue to kind of justify why people keep calling her a plant. So let's get to it. You know what? You want to go to Hey Girl. Really at Village Town Hall on Sunday. Okay, so keep that in mind. There will be a rally at the Village Hall. They said Sunday at 2 p.m. Okay, a rally for a campaign that I'm sure costs money. Keep that in mind. Yeah. Okay, so the young lady in the white shirt said, I voted for Tiffany. Ain't gonna lie. And you just heard Cornmeal say, but you know what? I don't have a problem with her though. You know why? Because the people that she's scared of is the ones that she chooses to not have a spine for. Now, we all know that she's probably a plant from Super Stupid, but for her to never want to speak ill will or to say anything bad about her or even just to offer criticism, she tries to just simply dismiss Super Stupid, but she doesn't ever say, you know, I'm glad they're finally investigating her and it's nonsense because none of it makes sense. She always diverts attention away from her and then wants to sit here and point the blame and the fingers at the board of trustees. May I remind you, let's not remind you, Cornmeal, all of the village of Dalton's board of trustees are not under FBI investigation either, nor are they held in direct criminal contempt of court, nor did they go and have somebody removed off of a bank account without approval and then add others to it, which is what's in court documents. You know, those documents that you could be reading to gain knowledge that you choose to not do. You keep harping on the trustees running on a ticket. If you look at the voting numbers from 4 years ago, they all got equal the number of votes she received, if not more. So who's really carrying who? And they have said several times that they regret running on the ballot with her, tried to have her recalled. They've tried to do any and everything within their power to get rid of her. And you, like the devil, like that, just harp on nonsense that does not move anyone forward. You live in the past and then you want to dwell on the negativity. But yet you have the audacity to say that someone's hating on you, a term that you still can't define. Oh, I'm going in because I'm going to say why later what happened. So much time we have had engaging Good to know she doesn't have a problem with stupid.
This little exchange right here, I think, is really telling.
It is.
Sandra doesn't have a policy or platform that she's running on. She's running.
Yeah, this is DWC. This is Dear Work Christian talking. This is his video. So make sure you go on his channel and check it out and like the video. And then when you're done, come back over and like my video and subscribe. Trying to hit 50,000 at the end of the month. I know it's a tall order, but miracles happen every day.
On, or really just running against other people. I'm running against these people because they're blah blah blah, because they're bad, because they're mean, because they fight, because they're angry, whatever. But there isn't really a policy that she's pushing. There's not an idea that she's pushing.
Of course.
I'm running on the idea that we're going to bring down crime. I'm running on the idea that Dolton should not be in debt. I'm running on the idea to bring jobs to the Southland, whatever. She's not running on anything of that nature. She's just saying, hey,
I don't know.
Tiffany and Jason are bad. They ruined Dolton. They got all these blighted houses, and here's my flyer. And okay, that's fine, but are you going to do anything different? How are you going to do anything different? Now, of course, at a stepper said that's probably not the best place, but let's just be honest. She hasn't been campaigning with 2 good pennies because these people don't actually know who she is. This young woman here in the white top that she was talking to actually lives in Dolton, so she actually is a voter that will be a part of her base,
right?
And she's trying to convince her that the woman should vote for her over Jason.
And no, what's quite interesting is the fact that no one here knew her. They didn't know who she was, and I'm pushing it towards the end because what you end up seeing is just her walking around with her camera. So
you're not going to win, Cassie.
I'm just trying to get it.
But she signs out at the end. I'm gonna jump down to where she signs out.
Yeah, I think he's about to show
successful, as if this were a successful campaign event. I think it's going to be kind of interesting. So let's see what happens there. All right, guys, we about to sign out. We out here campaigning. As you see, a lot of people came out to support us. We're going to be rallying Sunday at 1 o'clock up at the Village Hall.
So people came out to support her at this campaign event. Keep that in mind. So this is based on what she just said. These people are here to campaign for her.
You that know anyone that wants to be a part of it.
I'm gonna rewind.
Right, guys, we about to sign out. We out here campaigning. As you see, a lot of people came out to support us. We're going to be rallying Sunday.
She said, as you can see, a lot of people came out to support us. So she thinks all these people here are there for her, to support her in her campaign. Never mind the running mate that's there. Yeah, I know. So she's saying this is her campaign event. Okay.
At 1 o'clock up at the Village Hall.
Just keep that in mind.
So all of you that know anyone that wants to be a part of it, make sure you out show up. Make sure you out show up. It's Sunday at 1 o'clock at the Village Hall.
Got it. Okay. So, oh man, let's get to it because this is about to get good. She actually thinks that they were all there to campaign for her. That's what she said. So, who am I to take that away from her? Yep. There's just a level of responsibility and accountability that comes along with that. So, we're going to go over that now. All right. Yep. So, as you all can see here, this is the Illinois State Board of Elections website and the committee details for Rebuilding Dolton Party here. Committee ID number 40415. Purpose: to elect candidates of the Rebuilding Dolton Party to Dolton Village offices. Then there's an address of 14330 Ingleside Avenue, Dolton, Illinois 60419. The status is active. It is a political party created January 31, 2025. And if you come down, you see the candidates. You see Dinasha Lee Harrison, because his last name is Harrison. He is running to be a trustee. I don't know which one, because it's my understanding that the trustees just won their positions again. Jason is the only one that has to run again on April 1st for mayor. So it's my understanding. So whose trustee position would he be replacing here? Okay. And then you have Cornmeal. And you have her address, which is the same address as the political party, I guess, whatever the headquarters or whatever would be, is her home address here. Same thing. And you have that information right here again at this 14330 Ingleside Avenue, Dolton, 60419. She's running to be mayor. And then down you have the officers. Now, if you all look, she's the chair. And look who's the treasurer, Jimmy L. Jordan. And I would just naturally assume that's her husband because this is the same address they both reside at. Now, she was asked in that softball interview on that other YouTuber's channel about a conflict of interest between Jason and a contributor that gave to his political platform. Funny how the hypocrisy of that is so staggering to where she couldn't even be asked about her own conflict of interest being brought up by having her husband be the treasurer of this political party. Her husband. Okay. So, and if you look down here, the report section, all you see is a D1 statement of organization. That's it. Nothing else. No contributions filed, no other reports done on any other, whether it be financial or contribution in kind. No summary statements, receipts, nothing. Just a D1 statement of organization. Let me show you all what that looks like. So here's a statement of organization. Basically, kind of like registering to be a organization, a political organization. That's about it. Received January 31, 2025, as you all can see there, from the Springfield office. Rebuilding Dolton Party with her home address on it as the, you know, mailing address of the political committee. Then you have the identification number 40415-3. Brand new committee. Came out of nowhere. This is a political party committee. Then they have amount of funds available as of creation date, $0.00. Now, can you imagine if that were not true? What 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 type of laws do you think would have been violated if that's not true? Because last time I checked, it took money to run a campaign, correct? Yeah, okay. Let's keep moving down. And you see here the political party affiliation is Rebuilding Dolton Party, Dalton, Cook County, Illinois. Then you have the candidate. This is Cornmeal and Mr. Harrison. Support. They're not opposed. They're supporting each other for mayor and trustee. And then once again, you see the required committee officers, her and her husband, because reasons. Now pay attention to this. Financial institutions and other repositories of committee funds, they put to be determined. Why was that not established before you did this application? That you have to have some financial institution listed, because when you're accepting campaign funds or contributions, yeah, where's that money going? Because that is public information. You're required to disclose expenditures and contributions, whether it be in dollar amount or have some value that would deem it to be required to be reported. What? How do you take contributions if you don't even have a financial institution listed? So where's that money going? This is supposed to be strictly for the campaign now. You see, she talks about rejoicing in downfalls and all of this other stuff and blah blah blah, weaponizing the Bible to fit some dumb moot point. But yet she didn't even fill this out accurately according to state statutes. And what are those, Lady Luck? You asked? Well, I'm glad you asked, because we're going to get to it in a minute. The disposition of residual funds in the event of dissolution or termination, which there will be for sure because she's going to lose, is that she's saying she wants the money to be transferred to a charitable organization. Oh, here's this again, to be determined. So let's say it dissolves this month or April 1st. Finds out she loses like hell and it's dissolved. Now you mean to tell me that you have no charitable organization listed on this document? And this isn't something that she's still currently amending or anything. So how can anyone say that you're going to send it over to charity when you don't even have a charity listed, nor do you have some sort of financial institution listed? Because, your downfall, I guess. I don't know. And then at the bottom, you see it was signed and dated January 31. And this information below, I think is, a little important to uh, take note of, because in case anyone needs to file a complaint to the elections board, you have this information here. State Board of Elections in the Springfield location at 2329 South MacArthur Boulevard, Springfield, Illinois 62704. They have this fax number here, and then they have an email at D as in dog 1 at elections.il.gov. This is for D1s only, so I have to get the contact information. But that's a starting point. All right. So that was the document. When you click on here, that D1 statement of organization, that was that document we just got through looking over, just to give you all a glimpse of what that's supposed to look like. Yeah. Let's go to Jason's political party here. Friends of Jason House, Committee ID 36229, to support the candidacy of Jason House in political fundraising. Created September 23rd, 2020. It's active. There's the address there. You all can see that. The stuff is public information. Don't have to even dig too hard for it. So, of course, it has his address listed as trustee and mayor. Well, it was trustee originally because it's been up since 2020. Now it's mayor. And then he has some stuff as chair and treasurer. But yet, you see these reports here? Yeah, because this is how it's done. These letters dash numbers here are specific types of reports that we're going to check out in a minute. But you have A1 type reports based on the dollar amount. You have to report certain information on certain documents. I do believe if it's like 500 or less, there's a different document. Plus, you have quarterly reports you have to do, which is ironic because the first quarterly report has to be done by March 31st. So, yeah. Plus, you can kind of see the reporting period here, 1/1/25 to 3/31/25. So, that would be the first quarter that you would have to submit certain financial documents. And I don't see, I mean, even if you had until March 31st, why wait to the last minute? So, where are their financials? Where is the Rebuild in Dalton Party financials again? I mean, if they've been spending money for this campaign, they're supposed to be reporting that as well. If they received any contributions, they're supposed to be reporting that. Where are the financials here? They've been up and going since January 31, but no one thought that they had to have financials being reported. Expenditures, nothing. Investors, these so-called businesses and investors that she claims she already has lined up that will only work with her and no one else but her. As a matter of fact, this sounds a little bit more like a quid pro quo, pay to play type situation. So, why even give the appearance or the impropriety of a conflict of interest with these companies and investors by saying that they're only going to work with you? They, they should be wanting to invest and help build a business in Dalton to help the residents, not because of you. Why are you the focal point they would have to go to, Cornmeal, in order to help the people of Dalton? I mean, wouldn't it be on them to decide because it's their money that they're utilizing to invest and to help boost businesses in Dalton? But guess what you're supposed to do? Report those people. That means whoever these investors are, these businesses owners are, you have to report them because that's how you combat the concept or the idea of a pay to play or a quid pro quo. So you owe it to the people of Dalton to put that information out there. That's not something you get to keep for a secret. Who are these investors? There's certain forms and documents you have to fill out because that's another way to ensure that they're not getting some backhanded deal with you in the long run. Plus, if they're donated to your campaign, any level of contribution, and yet they want to be an investor or a business owner that puts money into Dalton, please understand, you all, they would only do it if they know they're going to be getting some money back and there's some benefit to them doing that. So, yeah, of course, people will have the right to know as a part of required disclosure who these investors are. Of course, they do. But the fact that she consistently makes that statement and then doesn't tell the name of these investors and business owners, it sounds shady. And yet you don't even have financials to report. My God, you didn't even put down a financial institution on your statement of organization. Your husband is the treasurer. Really? Yeah, okay. What's the name of that charity you're going to send the rest of the money to once this thing is dissolved? Because it was to be determined. Okay. All right, let's move along. So here is the website, the campaign disclosure menu. Like I said, there are various forms that have to be completed, and just kind of depending on what it is, the amount, you have certain documents that has to be reported within a certain time frame. If she's spending money for this campaign, it's supposed to be reported, especially if this money is coming from outside sources, even if it's a contribution in kind. So it's not necessarily money, but it's a contribution in kind, meaning that it's probably just as valuable. That's also supposed to be reported. Let's click on one of these documents so you all can see. Let's see here. Itemized expenditures. Let's just click on that. All right. Here's the itemized expenditures here. Schedule B. Now you guys can see on here what information is required to be reported. Itemized expenditures, you got to have the full name, mailing address, and zip code, the date, purpose, beneficiary, the amount of each expenditure this reporting period, and aggregate amount this reporting period. Since she has an attorney, I'll let her attorney explain this stuff to her. Yeah, but this is supposed to be reported. And then get the instructions and the information down on the second page. So there you go. So you guys can check this out when you have a moment. Y'all know I don't like reading the whole thing like that because I do want people to read so they can understand for themselves as opposed to me reading it and it still doesn't make sense. So hopefully when I go live again, then we can really just kind of discuss it. But you guys can read and check this out. An expenditure must be itemized if it exceeds $150 in aggregate to a single entity during the reporting period. So as you can see, if it's over $150 in aggregate, it has to be reported. It has to be reported. All right, I'm gonna move on to this. Oh, let me go back to Jason since she hates him so much. Kick rocks, girl. All right, this is ugh, her vitriol towards him is just it's insane and asinine, and we're all sick of it. All right, so you can see D2 quarterly report. Let's just click on it and see. So he's reported itemized 31,600, not itemized $395. Um, and that's just based on the dollar amount. Of course, transfers $35 not itemized, and then of course loans received and other receipts are both zero. Contributions in kind contributions, same thing, zero. So this is what you expect to see when you click on that link. Whether something is a conflict of interest would be a matter of what the rules and regulations would say and outline. But since they want to be hypocritical about things, I would think that her husband being the treasurer of the political party would create a huge conflict of interest. But, narcissists aren't really, they don't see things as hypocrisy. They just see themselves as being right and everyone else is wrong because of reasons. Ugh. All right. So this is some of the information. Um, the guide to campaign disclosure. Yay! So you guys can see here. I'm trying to go as slow as I can. I'm not going to read this whole thing because there's a lot of information in here. But I'm just kind of going to skim over some things to point out. Um, let's see. I'm trying to get to a point where I can just point out like some information that relates to the video that we just watched. Okay, so let's start here. All right. Records of financial transactions must be maintained from the beginning of the campaign in order to determine when the filing threshold has been reached. Um, the beginning of this campaign was what? January 31st? It's March 10th. Where are those contributions? Where are the transactions again? Because I know she has not just been receiving free services here. I highly doubt that. So where are those contributions at? It says it here. Records of financial transactions must be maintained from the beginning of the campaign in order to determine when the filing threshold has been reached. hmm So I didn't see anything there. I just saw a statement of organization. Let's see how neutral people are going to be after they've been groveling in her feet. Because we can, I mean, literally say the same thing about cornmeal and her conflict of interest. But yeah, it won't be talked about too much because it might come off as being meany and mean words and saying mean things because me, and hatred. Ugh. I would sure wish they would look up the definition of hatred. Like somehow they got replaced with accountability in their world. Um, let's see. This is a good one. Corporations, associations, labor unions, or individuals who make political donations strictly from corporate profits, union treasury, or personal income. If an individual, corporation, or labor union solicits funds to support or oppose a candidate or question of public policy, they are covered by the Act. Similarly, any entity other than a natural person that makes expenditures exceeding 5,000 in a 12-month period supporting or opposing a public official or candidate is covered by the Act. So I don't know why they have this two-column thing working like this because it's hard to follow that. But this is under the Illinois Campaign Disclosure Act. And this applies to candidates, individuals, groups, or persons, or any organizations, political or otherwise, who have accepted contributions or made expenditures or independent expenditures in excess of 5,000 within a 12-month period in support or in opposition to a candidate or other candidates for public office, or any question of public policy to be submitted to voters, because the voters have the right to know. It's public information. This is campaign disclosure, must be reported to voters. Also, to report have you have received or made expenditures in excess of 5,000 within a 12-month period for electioneering communication, or have made independent expenditures in excess of 5,000 within a 12-month period. So I'm sure, because you know, she screams something along the lines of a scammer, that this is going to come up on those taxes. But is this financial disclosure going to be posted up for this campaign? Because I'm sure whatever money she spent, oh, she's going to try to get that written off of her taxes. hmm Yeah, you better have financial disclosures posted up by the end of the week, because you're getting close to this first quarter coming to an end on March 31st, where you won't have a choice. And if she doesn't, guess what? You all in Dalton can request that this political party be audited. We love it. Audited by the election board. Yes, they can be audited. hmm So let's see here. Oh, they got so much information on here. I mean, this is a good read. It's 56 pages long, but I kind of just skimmed through it just so I can show you all why it's imperative when you say that you're at some function. This is the campaign function on that video from Dear World Christian's channel, where she claimed that they were out supporting her. This was like a line dance event. There were tickets sold. As you see, they had tables set up with food and drinks and DJ and music. So, how much did all of that cost again, Cornmeal? Since you claimed that that was your campaign function, shouldn't all of the expenses related to that be reported? Because where is it? I mean, you're the one that said that they're there to support you, right? So, where are the expenditures? I don't see where you reported any expenditures from that event you had. Or how about the one from today? I would assume that your other campaign event was today at 12 noon or something. Where are the expenditures from that event? Where are the receipts? You want to talk about transparency and accountability? Why aren't you reporting these things? And when you do have your receipts and invoices and expenses from this campaign party that you created out of thin air, you have to keep this stuff maintained and on file for 2 years. So I hope you and your treasurer husband understand the laws when it comes to the campaign disclosure, and that you are prepared to maintain this stuff for 2 years while you and your attorney are out trying to intimidate and bully someone with the threat of a lawsuit because of some nonsense you did. Yep, because I know what you've done. Why don't you and your attorney get busy on getting these financial reports and expenditures posted up? by law, because I don't see it. I don't see any receipts from that line dance party. She said it was her event. People were out there to support her. They were having another event that Sunday. So you should be reporting these things. Yeah, you should. Absolutely. I'm just curious. Like you got parties and events going on. I'm sure that costs money. That line dance event, I'm sure they were selling tickets for that. It's my understanding that they were. How much did those tickets cost? Well, who was the vendor that was there supplying the food and the drinks? How much did that cost you? Since this is your event, because lying does not work well to your benefit. So since that's your event, you want people to know that. Oh yeah, I want these line dancers. I want everyone there to be utterly disgusted at you trying to claim that to be your event. Because now that you've said it, we all expect to see some expenses being posted and reported for that event. It looked like it cost at least $5,000. No telling how much people spent on those tickets. Let's not forget about the vendors, set up the food and the drinks and the facility itself. You have to pay for that. You have flyers in your hand. Someone had to make that. It costs money to make. Yep, it does. As a matter of fact, ooh man. Let's see, let's see, let's see. Is this the one that I found that I was given? I saw something because I'm gonna put up. See, this is why I don't play around with it. Mm-mm. Yeah, I'm gonna find this photo. Save pictures. Yeah, I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna post it up. If I can't get it in this video, I'm gonna post it up on my page as a post. But it's a flyer. What she had on that flyer that she had been in Dolton for what, 25 years or something. I was wow. I was like, wow. Didn't she say 17 in the interview on national television? Now it's 25. No one can keep up. That's the shameful part about it. We're not even. I'm not even trying to keep up because I figured at this point she's worse than super stupid. So are her lies. Her lies are going to be worse than super stupid as well. It's like her 2.0 times 10 to the 10th power. Just absolutely worse. But yeah, we're waiting on this expenditure stuff to be posted up. Oh, you got itemized receipts. Okay. Where are your itemized receipts from that event? This is the form I expect to see here. Schedule A, receipts. Yep. Individual contributions, transfers in, loans received, other receipts. Then you're supposed to put your political committee identification number here. Yeah, so where are the receipts at again for that whole event you had? Oh no, two. Because you said at the line dance thing you were doing something else that Sunday. So there should be two events of receipts and expenditures and expenses all loaded up, added to these forms, and then loaded up. This is by state law. You don't get to curtail laws. Yeah, this is according to Illinois state law. So no, you don't have a choice. Where are those expenditures and receipts? I mean, really, since you're gonna somehow do this. Oh, let's get to the financial institution part. Oh yeah. All political committees must indicate where their funds will be maintained. This will include all financial institutions or repositories where funds may be invested. If any information in this section changes, complete the entire section, including any previously reported institutions that are still being used by the committee. So, where is that financial institution again? Because I seem to, maybe my eyes are just closed or something. Because I could have sworn, yeah, I don't know. To be determined. So how do you pull this nonsense off? Think no one would ever notice or question it while you're sitting here going after my supporters, posting photos of their grandchildren on your Facebook page. But you're ignoring whole laws about these campaign contributions and expenditures and itemized invoices and all these things for these events that you're claiming are yours. Mm-hmm. Ooh, Lord help the children. A whole lot of documents missing on here. Yeah, lots of documents missing on here. Just a D1 statement of organization. Yeah, okay. All right, let's get back to it. So, we already kind of went over the disposition of the residuals. I mean, they got to be given off somewhere or go somewhere. And the fact that she doesn't have a financial institution, nor does she have a charitable organization listed, is an indication that more than likely she'll be keeping that money to her damn self between her and her husband because he's the treasurer. I'm just scrolling down so you all can see some of these reports that are required. The quarterly reports are due March 31st. There's some other reports based on the dollar amount that might be due within 2 days of the money being spent or received, or 5 days. But either way, you claimed that that was an event that was for you and your campaign. They showed up and packed it out, right? So we expect to see some receipts. We expect to see some expenses related to that. You out canvassing around looking at pictures of people's houses that you have no idea if they even live there or not. You dog out your own community, yet you want to represent it. Funny how that works. Funny how that works. So yeah, this is all the information here. You guys can check this out. It's 56 pages long, but trust me when I tell you, it's not hard to see that she has no financials. She has not disclosed anything regarding an investor or a business owner doing anything or wanting to come and do anything to help boost the community. I don't see anything wrong with it. My issue is you're not reporting it. And then you want to get mad when people question you about it. No, you're supposed to be providing that information of every single investor, every single business that wants to bring money into Dalton, because we all know that they want something in return. Whether it's them to be a stakeholder or what, they're not going to just donate money, especially with the financial situation that Dalton is in. But yep, you're supposed to report those people, right? Yeah, yeah, you were. So when do we expect to see a list of those investors and business owners? Because I would say within the next week, you should have this stuff posted up. Yeah, here's how you contribute, donate contributions in kind and how you report it. I mean, this isn't something I made up. I couldn't make none of this up if I wanted to. This is all a part based off of state statutes. In order for you to be a candidate for anything, you have to know how to do things the right way. But yet and still, you want to talk about accountability and transparency, though. It even gives you examples on how to fill out those forms. Look at that. Oh, here's a sample of that Schedule A receipts. So you have samples of how this stuff is supposed to be filled out, how it's supposed to look. Now you have no damn excuse. In kind contributions, look at that. See? A whole nice little layout. Schedule B, expenditures. There you go. So you don't have any excuse because you can always pull up these documents to get an example of how it's supposed to look. Debts and obligations. Oh yeah. There's even one for investments. Now, whether they're investing into your campaign versus they're saying to you they're going to invest in Dolton, they still have to state what that investment is going to be and to whom they're going to invest. Whether they're investing in other businesses or they're just investing in an individual, they still have to name all that stuff. They have to have that all written out and notated on the appropriate document, and it has to be reported and made available to the public. You don't get to have investors and business owners just say they're going to do something only dealing with you and not even disclose who they are or any other information that you're required to disclose. I'll be waiting for those receipts, by the way. I mean, that should be interesting. So, yet and still, my point stands here. I mean, it doesn't get any more clear than this. It just doesn't. I hope you guys take the time to read that guide. Um, you can find it actually is over here, Guide to Campaign Disclosures. You got a lot of brochures and other information that you can look at. And then that way, when she does something that is just reiterating how evil she is, then you could come here and then you can look at her committee's information details to see if they've posted anything that the public has the right to know. And if not, then here's the phone number of the Springfield office at 2329 South MacArthur Boulevard, Springfield, Illinois 62704. Phone number is area code 217-782-4141. They encourage you to file complaints. Yeah, it's encouraged for you to file complaints. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, she's not going to win. But see, here's the thing. Yeah, I don't go back and forth with Facebook. I don't even have a Facebook account. You got upset with one of my supporters for throwing up a laughing emoji at another YouTuber's video that you posted on your Facebook page for reasons. And then what do? You lied on her and said that she was sending so much hate and mean comments. And then you post up pictures of minor children. Minor children that then you tried to delete. It was so deplorable. It's the irony of this. When I say, you know what, I'm not gonna. I don't want to keep reporting on this person, talking about them because they just want negative attention. Because I know that's what you want. You just want some negative attention. But you can't help yourself. That's what I've been told. So I'm trying to pull that up now because I'm disgusted. I am. Uh, I don't see how this in the least bit would be. I'm trying to show this in my share screen, but don't think that's gonna work. But either way, it was. Hold on, let me see if I can switch the. Oh, image file. Okay, let's go to gallery. Yeah, this is it. This is it. So I don't know. Do you feel good about this? And I had to blot out the children's faces because they're minors. You exposing a random person who happens to be an LLC supporter that came and, oh, you accuse her of spewing hate towards black women with an emoticon, with an emoji, but raising black girls. First of all, let me explain something to you, Heifer. Posting up pictures of minors because of the color of their skin makes you just as racist and discriminatory as anyone else. And she didn't post any hate towards you. She posted a laughing emoji on a video of another YouTuber. You posted up another YouTuber's video because you didn't like the fact that they got all this information on you. And because she posted an emoji, a laughing emoji, you decide to dox minor children to try to paint some dumb narrative that this woman, that my LLC supporter, hates black women, but has mixed grandchildren. How do you really feel about us? Do tell. She doesn't feel anything about you one way or the other. As a matter of fact, I'll answer that question. No one even cared that you existed until you made yourself the center of all this news. And we still forget your name. Now, I've already said you're beneath me and this channel and this platform and my supporters. But this has to be a disgusting low blow to post up minor children, her grandchildren, because they're mixed. How did you think this was going to go for you? This is so egregious for you to clap back and punish these children. I think most adults understand on YouTube and social media, you're going to get some weird comments. You're going to try to get people to do just dumb things. They're going to talk about your hair. They're going to talk about everything. But you brought in innocent children into the mix. And you're trying to weaponize these children to paint some dumb narrative about your fake outrage of race baiting, basically, is what you're doing. Weaponizing race baiting to try to make this a black or white thing. When it's just you being absolutely soulless, evil, vile, disgusting, deplorable, egregious, and very forgettable. When you lose, we will all continue to live on as if you never existed. But do not post up pictures of minor children on your Facebook page and you're a grown ass woman. Because every little thing now that's being said about you, you want to sit here and talk about hate. So since you and your attorney want to get busy making vile threats, idle threats to try to take someone down or sue someone and blah, 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 why don't you all get busy on posting up all of those expenditures and receipts, those expenses from your so-called campaign events? Figure out what financial institution you're going to name or the name of the organization that the money's going to go towards once it's dissolved. And it better not be your bakery business. See, I don't go in to go tick for tat. Nope. I think bigger. The next time I see children on your Facebook page being weaponized and utilized in this manner, I'll file a complaint with you my damn self. And I'll make sure my complaint is so airtight. Your nomination to run for anything will be invalidated henceforth, now and forevermore. And then you'll probably be questioned about why you're utilizing minor children on your Facebook page for any reason when you don't even know who these kids are. That is disgusting to go that low. Leave my supporters alone. I made my stance clear about this whole nonsense with her, with cornmeal on Friday. You're not worth our time. But you're going out of your way to try to get negative attention by sitting here and putting these children's faces up. And on for what? A laughing emoji. Your attorney thinks that you could possibly have a case with that. He's lying to you. So, if any of you, I guess, decide you want to try to file a complaint of any sort, let me go back to make sure I go back to that tab. There we go. And then you guys can scroll on down and, yep, keep checking to see if anything's filed. And if not, call them and report it. You can file a complaint. No one's above the law. Oh, and she should know. She's a veteran. Yeah. I don't understand why you choose to just kind of throw that around, knowing that you really don't care. Because you said on national television yourself, you love you more. hmm While you're sitting here trying to put children on blast because coward. Yeah, you're coward. That was a cowardly move. Just like going to this party and saying that this was your campaign activity. Oh, okay. Well, since it was, we expect to see receipts and expenses and invoices and all of the appropriate documentation that should be reported, because all of this should technically fall under some sort of campaign finance usage. hmm those laws are federal laws as well. So you violate finance campaign laws, it's a felony. I suggest you get that information up. You worried about someone else's grandchildren, but you didn't do anything to get up these documents posted from all of these events, from those flyers you're having printed. Yep, costs money to do that stuff. Unbelievable. So I want to end this on a cleanse my palate type of note. Because I'm gonna show just some photos. I think it'll be a good thing to do that. Um, let's see. I want to make sure that I get a good amount as well. Okay, it only let me do one at a time. Great. Just great. I don't have to do like a little slideshow. I think that's what I'll do. Some mini slideshow of some sort. But one of the supporters, he reached out to me and said, "Listen, I don't know what that woman talking about, but we have some nice homes here. They aren't all bad. You know, we have some really nice homes here, and here's one of them. And it's sad that someone who wants to run for mayor does nothing but dog out their own community by filming homes that are abandoned. And she probably has no idea what the state of those houses are anyway. But here's a nice home. I don't understand why why anyone would want to focus on negativity 24/7. If she's not bashing the trustees, she's dogging out the neighborhood and filming houses. Super stupid. But someone she says she has no problem with. But wants to curtail, I guess, accountability. Give her all the grace in the world, but don't hold her accountable.